Hi there, it's Anita. Welcome back to History of Fleetwood Mac Singles, Part 10. We don't really have a Part A or B to anything because we're just going to be going over 1980, the Fleetwood Mac live album. I did want to take care of a couple errors that I had at the end of 1979's Tusk, just pretty much in finding one straggler, and that would be a Bob Welch Ebony Eyes, which when I had brought it up prior to beginning Tusk, I believe, I had mentioned that Stevie Nicks was not on any recording of Ebony Eyes like this. But fun fact, it is Juice Newton who sings background on Ebony Eyes on the recorded version. Stevie Nicks only joins Bob Welch, I think once or twice, maybe three times. Sounds like a lyric. Where she joins him for Ebony Eyes live. Also, the French Kiss album has, the French Kiss album has no Nicks at all, just Lindsey Buckingham, Christine McVie, and Mick Fleetwood. So that's for French Kiss. But Juice Newton is on the 45, which I had forgotten all about. I just always think of Ebony Eyes and Stevie Nicks joining them live when they sing the song, which sounds fantastic. So just wanted to bring that up. But carrying on with Bob Welch, then we get on to his 1979 album Three Hearts, which I had brought up in the last video as well. And I just happen to have a couple singles by him. And for Three Hearts, it is everybody but John McVie on that album. So Stevie sings backing vocals on a song called Devil Wind. Pardon me. And let's see, Lindsay, Mick, and Christine are on that album as well. And just kind of a fun fact, when I had brought up Sarah during the Tusk recordings, I'm pretty sure that is Sarah Ricker right there. And this lady's name is Lindsay or Lindy or something like that. And there's something about her, and I just can't remember a fun fact. But yeah, a couple ladies on there, Bob Welch. But this was just a U.S. single from the Three Hearts album called Church, backed with Here Comes the Night. Simple, nothing really fancy. And I did also have a Japanese release from that album, which is Precious Love, which was a small hit for him. This Japanese insert sleeve with the no picture on this one, with the lyrics on the back, English and Japanese. And this happens to be a white promo label. This was kind of a fun find, which I have a story way in the future. You'll figure all about this, but I remember finding this and what else I found on that day. And it's just kind of a funny story I'll save for that another time. But these just happened to be things I came across, and I'm like, yeah, pick them up. They are all kind of interrelated. And again, I'm a pretty big Bob Welch fan, so that would wrap up 79 Bob Welch with the correction on the 77 Ebony Eyes. So tying up a little bit of 79, I also had brought up Kenny Loggins, Whenever I Call You Friend, and Walter Egan. But I also forgot that I had these, and that would be Jon Stewart, former member of Kingston Trio, and his phenomenal hit called Gold, which has Stevie Nicks on background vocals. And I know probably not a one of you doesn't know the song, but if you do not, stop my video, go listen to that song, and then come back, because it's a winner. It's a great song, great driving song. So this first single that I have is just, again, a simple regular release of on RSO Records, Jon Stewart, Gold, backed with Coming Out of Nowhere. Stevie Nicks is all over his album that contains this song, and the album is called Bombs Away Dream Babies. And it's just covered. Actually, it is Stevie and Lindsay singing background vocals on this, but you really scarcely hear Lindsay, but you really hear Stevie Nicks. So again, when I go over the LP at some point, I'll probably bring more information into the foray about their vocals and interaction at that time. Another simple single from same song, This one is probably released quite a bit later. This is a top line, still by RSO, but a different label. This, however, is backed with Midnight Wind, which is another single off that same album that Stevie Nicks does sing background on. So this has Gold and Midnight Wind. So this is a great single with an A and B, with a little Stevie Delight on there. Another version of Gold from West Germany. This one, however, has a picture sleeve, which is the same cover as the album. Photography done by Herbert Worthington, who of course did Rumors, the White Album, Belladonna, Wild Heart, gosh, near everything that they ever did. So a little Herbert Worthington love right there. Big top hit in the United States. Glad to see that it made it all the way over to West Germany. And this is a standard 45 with Gold backed with Coming Out of Nowhere again. Lastly, we have one more Jon Stewart, and that would be Midnight Wind, which I had said was on the back of that. This is a U.S. promotional stereo mono Midnight Wind backed with Midnight Wind. Nothing really special, just a nice white label promotional item. So that brings us to the end of 79 finally. So I got it right this time. Moving right into 1980, we're going to go into the Fleetwood Mac live album. Not a whole bunch to talk to, go into about that. Came out December 5th, 1980. It was a big collection of all the Tusk tour dates. They had, I think, like 49 dates or something like that. So it was plucked some from here, some from there. One is actually not from the Tusk tour. One song is from a 1975 tour. And then a couple other songs were done for a private show for friends and family of the band. And I believe actually that either Farmer's Daughter or Fireflies, which are two of the three singles that came off the live album, are the ones that were recorded privately for friends and family. But the singles from the live album were Farmer's Daughter, Fireflies, and oh goodness, why did I just forget it? I just had it. I'll get that in a second. I just had it a second ago. Gosh darn it. But I'm concentrating on the singles right now that I have in front of me, and I think that's why I kind of tripped up on that, so I apologize. But we'll start with the Farmer's Daughter, back to the Farmer's Daughter American release. And just a simple promo, and sent to radio stations, mono stereo, Farmer's Daughter, Farmer's Daughter. We have a U.S. release, picture sleeve. Remember when I talked about Lindsay being tired during the Tusk tour? These guys were pretty tired, especially our Amish Mick Fleetwood here. Not his best moment. And the single that goes with that is The Farmer's Daughter, backed with Monday Morning Live. Fun little thing that this just happened to come with a jukebox strip, which is kind of fun. Probably using a jukebox. Be kind of fun to know where it was played, where it came from. It was in a restaurant, a bar, what have you. Another thing that was interesting is this version, a promotional Farmer's Daughter from Canada, and it is backed with Monday Morning. And this had a picture sleeve with it, but it's an American picture sleeve. So I believe this is one that I bought that just had a sleeve with it, but it's obviously incorrect. It's going to just be the white label promotional with the Canadian paper sleeve. This just was, whenever I bought it, that's how I got it. So kept it in there. Farmer's Daughter as a single made it all the way to Belgium in popularity. So we had a picture sleeve for that. Farmer's Daughter backed with Dreams, however, for Belgium. It's a little bit of a difference. And Farmer's Daughter also made it to Germany. So it's Farmer's Daughter again, Back with Dreams. And it's the same picture sleeve, exactly the same, but the back has just a couple small differences. And that would just mostly be the writing at the bottom and such here. Not huge, but noticeable if you're ever collecting the dip, the record and such. Just small. But so that would be from, again, that was Germany and Belgium. Last we have Farmer's Daughter, no, not last, almost last. Farmer's Daughter, Back with Dreams from France. And this one too had a picture sleeve. Nice version of the cover on the back. Simple. Farmer's Daughter with Dreams. You know, funny enough, stumbling on names and such and forgetting the third single, this is like the 5th time I've tried to make this video. There's something about this little section of my records that I keep stumbling over. I even made a little note to myself and I already forgot things. So just, maybe there's something in the water for this one. For sure, the last Farmer's Daughter single that I have is from South Africa. Came in a very peculiar sleeve. I don't know, handmade? I'm not sure. It looks like somebody just had some wrapping paper, but I mean, they took the time to make a whole sleeve with the cutout. And it is the Farmer's Daughter. It has some information from, I can't really read it, but it's kind of cool. It has a stamp, possibly from a record store, radio station, hard to say. But Farmer's Daughter, backed with Over My Head from South Africa. So a really unique single to have. One of the first, maybe the second item from South Africa I've had and shown. And then we get into Fireflies. So Fireflies was the second single from the album. And to me, it's the most Fleetwood Mac-y song that they ever made. I think that it's the lyrics that kind of pull it together. You know, the 5 and just there's something about it. There's something very special about it. It's a Stevie Nicks song, and it supposedly does reference the turmoils, especially during this tour. It was a very, very hard tour. They were just cranking it out. It's just straight out of Rumors into Tusk, doing the tour. Then the live album came out. They did a few dates, working with all those other people, just, you know, consecutively working. And it was just really, you know, we all know about the toll it took on them in Rumors. And we joke about all the drugs they were doing, both in Rumors and Tusk. But, you know, these people were just really tired. And certainly not overworked. I mean, possibly overworked. But, you know, they are artists and they go out and do stuff. But the delicacy in the song and Stevie's lyrics just really kind of makes it sound like a family unit. And it's a song I'm very partial to. So the first Fireflies single that I have, again, USA standard version, mono stereo, promo, no sleeve. Fireflies backed with Over My Head, United States. So, with picture sleeve. This time the cover, instead of those individual lovely portraits, with the lyrics on the back, which was kind of cool. I think being a new song, there are no lyrics, I believe, in the album, so it's kind of nice to have them on the 45, or maybe there is. I haven't pulled the live album out and checked that out in a while. So Fireflies with Over My Head, USA version. Fireflies USA promo with Fireflies. Now, I was at a store in San Luis Obispo, and I'm looking through 45s, and I get to the Fleetwood Mac section, and they had like 50 of these singles you know, I don't know why they had so many, but I think I told you earlier that I'm a sucker for buying stuff with dates or little notes or something on it. Just because, again, it has a little unique history where it's been. This one has just a whole bunch of X's on the back. I think they didn't want to play the mono version. They wanted to make sure you put it on the stereo side. So the big red dot, Radio 83. I don't think that's their call numbers. Could be. It's a stamp of some kind that got kind of kicked out. But if you look at the sleeve that came with it, there's some more information there. And I just thought this was kind of a cool have, even though it's exactly the same thing as the other ones. You know, the promo single was those 2 songs. This was just a little different, not from the record company, but just because it had been somewhere different with some notes on it. They were like a quarter, 50 cents or something like that. So just fun little extras, little different stories. Another promotional Fireflies, back to the Fireflies, but this one is out of Canada. So just the regular paper sleeve. Definitely more white label to indicate the promo only. And I'm unsure. Oh, this one was really neat. This was different, and I noticed this when I was trying to make this video for the 3rd time. I kept looking at it thinking, well, wait a minute, I have 2 copies. And this one had the picture sleeve in it. I'm pretty sure I got it the same day I got those other ones. This is another one that has that kind of texture that's different. Again, out of Canada. It did not have the Canadian sleeve like this, but it had a picture sleeve. And I said, well, that's incorrect, as I've discussed, because, you know, most of the time promos only had a paper sleeve because it's only sent to radio stations. So what the primary focus is that record, getting that record on there to get it broadcast out. So again, I'll show you. It looks just like the other one. Fireflies, promo copy, mono stereo. What was really interesting is not just that the sleeve was here, but that it is indeed from Canada, but it had this maple leaf on it. So they did specifically make this jacket for this record. It doesn't say promo, but it is Canadian. But I have no other records from Canada with a maple leaf on it until you get to LPs. LPs, I have a couple with a maple leaf. But I'd actually never noticed this maple leaf on the... Oh, I probably had, but I haven't thought about it in a while. So I thought that was pretty cool that this 45 actually did come with a sleeve, a cover, and just makes it kind of stand out. So that is my Canadian, I call it my Maple Leaf 45 promo. Fireflies back with Over My Head out of Spain. A little different. And this one had a nice cover. Again, a nice cardboard stock. Very fragile, though. It's kind of coming apart at the seams here, unfortunately. And then when I show the Spain, you know, we talk about normally it has the line, you know. This one does not, but it says everything down here. But yeah, the fireflies there. It's kind of cool. And then it's a pretty short video because that's the end of the singles for the live album. I just had a couple more from Bob Welch when he came out with the other ones, his record in 1980. Again, these are items I just happened to come across that kind of go with the whole Fleetwood Mac family. Nobody from Fleetwood Mac is on this album. No input whatsoever from Mick, John, Christine, Lindsay, Stevie, nobody, which was kind of strange. Bob Welch was a big fan, as was Fleetwood Mac working with him. They all remained pretty friendly. But there's some weirdness at the end, which is, again, topic for another time at a much later date. But, yeah, Rebel Rouser was the first single off the other one record that came out in 1980. Kind of a small hit for him. The promo, mono stereo. And then a copy from Japan, a white label. So promo. A nice sleeve. No picture. Well, a little picture of the album. Lyrics in English and Japanese. Backside for Rebel Browser on this one is Spanish Dancer. And lastly, we have Don't Rush the Good Things, backed with Reason, another Japanese single off the other ones. Last Bob Welch single I have for that. And for 1980, repping 1980. And the back of this one does decide to show all of his other records. This would be the other one. And that wraps up a little bit of a shorter video. I still can't get the third single in my head. Put it in the comments. You know I know better. Yeah. So thanks for coming. Next one we're going to start off with, we're going to get to Stevie Nicks. We're going to get to Stevie Nicks' first solo record, Belladonna. Some Lindsey Buckingham solo. And so lots to come. Lots of interesting stuff, but it'll be fun to break out the first Stevie Nicks singles, because boy howdy, there's a lot of them. So thank you so much again for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Have a great night. Bye-bye.